For these studio indents, we used After Effects. As a group, we split up the task and these indents were completed by my partners. The quote was completed on Premiere Pro, and I used the title tool and added a motion tool on each line and then made the lines move in different directions. I then added a fade into the next shot. For the next shot, we used a track, tripod, and zoom. It was very hard to coordinate as there were so many elements within the shot. Within editing, we noticed that the shots were very jumpy and had to use a warp stabilizer within Premiere Pro. Then export and import the new stabilized clip, which I then reversed and sped up. The idea behind the shot was that it was taken outside, which meant it stood out. It was also the only shot that Rose was included in, and it was an important look at their relationship as they were both holding on to each other, and therefore their compassion shined through. We zoom in onto the shot, which foreshadows the message of the film, which is their relationship, and honing in on the core relationship and therefore Grayson's core personality. I learnt through this shot how to coordinate lots of elements and how to deal with a shot within editing that isn't right. For this 360-degree shot of both Grayson and Hayley, a dolly and tripod were used. The two main problems with the shot were keeping the distance from the camera and the subject the same through the whole spinning process. We tried by marking the floor and making a clear line to follow. Another problem was making sure the redhead stayed out of shot when spinning so the shot looked authentic. However, this proved very difficult in editing. We decided to cut the shots instead of having a full 60 and place fragments of the shot within the opening. We attempted this shot as it was meant to symbolize Grayson's physical change from one personality to the other. Our smaller production titles were done on Premiere Pro with the title tool, and by adding motion to make the line split. This was added because it was symbolic of the splitting of the personalities. However, it was found after evaluation of our rough cut that the titles moved too quickly and therefore were difficult to read. So I made the movement slower and added a fade onto the words so that the titles still had the effect. Our main transition used was a film dissolve and then a cross dissolve. It was particularly symbolic within the headshots as it shows the characters melting into each other, which showed the personalities, with Grayson being one. Moreover, we found that when adding the dissolve transition, the opening became smoother and made the viewing experience more fluid. Another important element within the headshot sequence was the use of lighting. We positioned the red light so that half the face was darker and the other half was brighter. This was important because it shows the battle between light and dark and Grayson's struggle between who he wants to be and how his personalities limit him. We added a luma key effect to the images, changing the light and contrast. This gave them more shadow. It also connected the images and created darker and more mysterious atmosphere. The shot that follows Grayson's body was done with a crane. This proved rather difficult, and each person from the group took charge of one thing to make the shot steady. For example, Maria moved the crane up the body while I kept the camera facing the subject at the correct angle. It required coordination within the group and teamwork to pull it off. We found that there are a lot of shots, however, were wonky within editing, and the mise-en-scène was off due to the unnoticed props in the background. So we cut the shot with shots of the burning rose. This also created a rhythm and a semi-climax within the shot. We also added warp stabilizer to make the shot smoother and cropped the shot to get rid of unnecessary space. The violent punch shot was slowed down as it gave the audience full view of the aggressive expression. The sound effects was added to create an atmosphere and somehow make the shot more aggressive. The music was made on GarageBand with sample tracks and lots of fades and panning. I wanted the sound to be confusing and clash with the soft imagery to create a sense of oddness and uncomfortable atmosphere as it set a good tone for the film.